very well, but since our queen banished Iolanthe, fairy revels have not been what they were.
Iolanthe was the life and soul of fairyland. Why, she wrote all our songs and arranged all our dances. We sing her songs and we trip her measures, but we don't enjoy ourselves.
25 years have elapsed since she was banished. What could she have done to have deserved so terrible a punishment?
Something awful. She married a mortal.
Oh, is it injudicious to marry a mortal?
Injudicious? It strikes at the root of the whole fairy system. By our laws, the fairy who marries a mortal dies.
But Iolanthe didn't die.
No. Because your queen, who loved her with a surpassing love, commuted her sentence to penal servitude for life, on condition that she left her husband and never communicated with him again.
That sentence of penal servitude she is now working out on her head at the bottom of that stream.
Yes, but when I banished her, I gave her all the pleasant places of the earth to dwell in. I'm sure I never intended for her to live at the bottom of a stream. It makes me perfectly wretched to think of the discomfort she must have undergone.
Think of the damp! And her chest was always delicate.
And the frogs! Oh! I shall never have peace of mind until I know why Iolanthe went to live among the frogs.
But then why not summon her and ask her?
Why? Because if I set eyes on her, I should forgive her at once.
Then why not forgive her? 25 years, it's a long time.
Think how we loved her.
Loved her? What was your love to mine? Why, she was invaluable to me. Who taught me to curl myself inside a buttercup. Iolanthe, who taught me to swing upon a cobweb. Iolanthe, who taught me to dive into a dewdrop, to nestle in a nutshell, to gamble upon gossamer. Iolanthe.
She certainly did surprising things.
Oh, give her back to us, great queen, for your sake, if not for ours.
Oh, I should be strong, but I am weak. I should be marble, but I am clay. Her punishment has been heavier than I intended, and well, it shall be as you wish. It shall be as you wish. World to choose from. Why on earth did you decide to live at the bottom of that stream?
To be near my son Strephon.
Bless my heart, I did not know you had a son.
He was born soon after I left, by your Majesty's command. He does not even know of his father's existence.
How old is he?
He's 24.
24? Well, no one to look at you would think you had a son of 24. But that's one of the advantages of being immortal. We never grow old. Is he pretty?
He's extremely pretty, but he's inclined to be stout.
I have no objection to stoutness in moderation.
And what is he? He's a Lakeland shepherd, and he's in love with Phyllis, a ward in Chancery.
He and me a shepherd, and he half a fairy.
Well, he's a fairy down to the waist, but his legs are mortal.
Dear me.
I have no reason to suppose that I'm more curious than others, but I confess I should like to see a person who is a fairy down to the waist, but whose legs are mortal.
Well, there's nothing easier, for here he comes.
Good mother, good mother, good mother, good mother. By some means or other, pray banish your sorrow. With joy beyond telling, my bosom is swelling, so join in a measure expressive of pleasure. For I'm to be married today, today. Yes, I'm to be married today.
Yes, he's to be married today, today. Yes, he's to be married today.
So has the Lord Chancellor at last given his consent to your marriage to Phyllis?
No, not he indeed. To all my tearful prayers he answers me, a shepherd lad is no fit helpmate for a ward of Chancery. I stood there in court and sang him songs of Arcady with flageolet accompaniment. In vain. At first he seemed amused, as did the bar, but quickly wearying of my song and pipe, bade me get out. A servile usher in crumpled bands and rusty bombazine took me, still singing, to Chancery Lane. No, I'll go no more. I'll marry her today and brave the upshot, be what it may. But who are these?
Oh, Strephon, rejoice with me. Our Queen has pardoned me.
Pardoned you, mother?
Yes.
That's good news indeed.
And all these beautiful ladies are my sisters.
Your sisters? Then they must be my aunts.
A pleasant piece of news for your bride on her wedding day.
I have not told my bride yet that I am half a fairy. I dare not tell her, lest it frighten her. She believes me mortal and prefers me so.
Oh, your fairyhood doesn't seem to have done you much good.
Much good, my dear aunt. It's the curse of my existence. What's the use in being half a fairy? My body can creep through a keyhole, but that's no good when my legs are left dangling behind. I can make myself invisible on the top half, but that's of no use when my legs are left exposed to view. My brain is a fairy brain, but below the waist I'm a gibbering idiot. I can make my upper half is immortal, but my lower half grows older every day, and someday or other I must die of old age. What's to become of my upper half when I've buried my lower half, I really don't know.
Poor fellow. I see your difficulty. But with a fairy brain, you should seek an intellectual sphere of action. Let me see. I have a borough or two at my disposal. Westmoreland and Morecambe. How would you like to go into Parliament?
A fairy member! How exciting.
I should do no good there. You see, my brain is a Tory of the most determined description, but my legs are a couple of confounded radicals, and on a division I am sure they would take me to the wrong lobby. You see, they're 2 to 1, which is a strong working majority.
don't let that distress you. You shall be returned as a liberal conservative, and your legs shall be our peculiar care.
I see your majesty does not do things by halves.
No, we are fairies down to the feet. Fairly well attractive stranger.
Fairly well attractive stranger.
Shouldst thou be in doubt or danger, peril or perplexity, call us and we'll come to thee.
I call us and we'll come to thee. Tripping thither, Numadina's wide awake. We must now be taking wings to another fairy ring. Tripping hither, we must now be taking wings to another fairy ring.
Good morrow, good lover, good morrow. I pray thee discover, still purchase or borrow, some means of concealing the care you're feeling, and join in a measure expressive of pleasure. For we're to be married today, today. Yes, we're to be married today.
Yes, we're to be married today, today. Yes, we're to be married today.
Oh, Phyllis, today we are to be made happy forever.
Well, we're to be married.
Well, it's the same thing.
I suppose it is, but oh, Strephon, I tremble at the step I'm taking. I believe it is penal servitude for life to marry a ward of court without the Lord Chancellor's consent. I shall be of age in 2 years. Don't you think you can wait 2 years?
2 years? Have you ever looked in the glass?
No, never.
Look at that and tell me if you think it's rational to expect me to wait 2 years.
Oh no, it's asking too much. One must be reasonable.
Besides, who knows what will happen in 2 years? You might even fall in love with the Lord Chancellor himself.
Yes, he's a clean old gentleman.
Besides, half the House of Lords are sighing at your feet.
Yes, the House of Lords is certainly extremely attentive.
Attentive? I should think they were. Why did 25 Liberal Democrats come down to shoot over your plot last autumn? Don't tell me it was the sparrows. And why did 25 Conservative peers come down to fish your pond? Don't say it was the goldfish. No, delays are dangerous. If we're to be married, the sooner the better.
None shall part us from each other, one in life and death are we, one all to one another, I to
the throng, for the day and all the hour. Thou the singer, I the song. All in all, since that fond meeting, when in joy I woke to find, mind the heart within thee beating, mind the love that heart enshrines, mind the heart within thee beating, mind the love that heart enshrines. By the stream the grasses. Sing, boom, sing, boom. Sing, boom, sing, boom. Sing, boom, sing, boom. Blow, blow the trumpets, bang the brasses. Blow, blow the trumpets, bang the brasses. Blow, blow the trumpets. Blow, blow the trumpets. Sing, boom, sing, boom. Sing, boom, sing, boom. Bowdy low, middle classes, bowdy tradesmen, bowdy masters, bowdy low, middle classes, bowdy tradesmen, bowdy masters, tan-tan-ta-ra, 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 tan-ta-ra, 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 ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. Tan-ta-ra,
The law is the true embodiment of everything that's excellent, has no kind of fault of law, and I, my lords, embody the law. The constitutional guardian I of pretty young lords in Chancery, all very agreeable girls, and none are over the age of 21. A pleasant occupation for a rather susceptible chancellor.
a pleasant occupation for a rather susceptible chancellor.
But though the compliment implied inflates me with legitimate pride, nevertheless can't be denied that it has its inconvenient side. For I'm not so old and I'm not so plain, and I'm quite prepared to marry again. But be the deuce to pain the lords if I fell in love with one of me wards, which rather tries my temper, for I'm such a susceptible chancellor.
Which rather tries his temper, for he's such a susceptible chancellor.
And everyone who'd marry a ward must come to me for my accord. In my court I sit all day, giving agreeable girls away. There's one for him, and one for he, and one for you, and one for ye, and one for thou, and one for thee, but never, oh never, a one for me. Which is exasperating for a highly susceptible chancellor.
Which is exasperating for a highly susceptible chancellor.
And now, my lords, to the business of the day.
By all means, Phyllis, who is a ward of court, has so powerfully affected your lordships that you have appealed to me in a body to give her to whichever one of you she may think proper to select. And a noble lord has gone to her cottage to request her immediate attendance. It would be idle to deny that I myself have the misfortune to be singularly attracted to this young person. My regard for her is rapidly undermining my constitution. 3 months ago, I was a stout man. Oh! I need say no more. If I could reconcile it with my duty, I should unhesitatingly award her to myself. For I can conscientiously say that I know no man who is so well fitted to render her exceptionally happy. But such an award would be open to misconstruction, and therefore at whatever personal inconvenience, I waive my claim.
My lord, I desire on the part of this house to express its sincere sympathy with your lordship's most painful position.
I thank your lordships. The feelings of a Lord Chancellor who is in love with a ward of court are not to be envied. What is his position? Can he give his own consent to his own marriage with his own ward? Can he marry his own ward without his own consent? And if he marries his own ward without his own consent, can he commit himself for contempt of his own court? And if he commit himself for contempt of his own court, can he appear by counsel before himself to move for arrest of his own judgment? My lords, it is indeed painful to have to sit upon a woolsack which is stuffed with such thorns as these.
My lords, I have much pleasure in announcing that I have succeeded in inducing the young person to present herself before this house.
Pains to refuse, so I'll stick tapers. I can spell all the words that I use, and my grammar's as good as my neighbours. As for birth, I was born like the rest. My behaviour is rustic but hearty, and I know when to turn for the best when I want a particular party.
And thus defy our definite command.
'Tis I, the young Strephon, find this priceless treasure. Against the world, I claim my darling's hand. A shepherd I, of Staveley,
of Staveley,
betrothed are we,
betrothed are they,
and mean to be
espoused today. A shepherd he of Staveley, a shepherd he of Staveley, betrothed are they, betrothed are they, and mean to be espoused today. Neath this floor, verses and a dagger, though we momentarily stagger, in each heart, proudly elected, let's depart, dignified and stately, let's depart, dignified and stately, 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 dignified and stately.
Now, sir, what excuse do you have for having disobeyed an order of the Court of Chancery?
Sir, I don't go by courts of chancery. I go by nature's acts of parliament. The bees, the breeze, the seas, the rooks, the brooks, the vales, the gales, the fountains and the mountains cry, "You love this maiden, take her, we command you." 'Tis writ in the heavens by the bright barbed dart that shines forth its lurid light from each grim thundercloud. The very rains pour down its sad and sodden sympathy. When nature calls, "Take your love, we command you," should I reply, "Nay, but a certain Lord Chancellor forbids it"? Sir, you are England's Lord High Chancellor, but are you Chancellor of the birds and the trees, King of the winds, and Prince of the thunderclouds?
No. No, it's a nice point. I don't know that I ever met it before. But my difficulty is that at present there is no evidence before the court that chorus nature has interested herself in the matter.
No evidence? Sir, you have my word for it. She bade me take thy love.
But my good sir, you mustn't tell me what she told you. It isn't evidence. Now, an affidavit from a thunderstorm or a few words on oath from a heavy shower would meet with all the attentions they deserve.
But sir, have you the heart to apply such prosaic rules of evidence to a case which bubbles over with poetical emotion?
Distinctly. I have always kept my duty strictly before my eyes, and it is to that fact that I owe my advancement to my present distinguished position. When I went to the court as a very young man, said I to myself, said I, I'll work on a new and original plan, said I to myself, said I, I'll never assume that a rogue or a thief is a gentleman worthy implicit belief, because his attorney has sent me a brief, said I to myself, said I. I go into court, I will read my brief through, said I to myself, said I. And I'll never take work I'm unable to do, said I to myself, said I. My learned profession I'll never disgrace by taking a fee with a grin on my face when I haven't been there to attend to the case, said I to myself, said I. I'll never behave in a bullying way, said I to myself, said I. As Dominic Robb was accused of one day, said I to myself, said I. My staff need not fear my professional eye, I'll never throw salad upon their attire, or call them all snowflakes who ought to retire, said I to myself, said I. Professions in which men engage, said I to myself, said I. The army, the navy, the church, and the stage, said I to myself, said I. Professional license it carried too far, your chance of promotion will certainly mar, and I fancy the rule might apply to the bar, said I to myself, said I.
Oh, Phyllis, to be taken from you just at the point when I was to make you my own. Oh, it's too much, it's too much!
Oh, my son is in tears, and on his wedding day.
My wedding day? Weep with me, mother, for the law has interposed between us, and the Lord Chancellor has separated us forever.
The Lord Chancellor? Oh, if he did but know.
But if he did but know what?
No matter. The Lord Chancellor has no right over you. Remember, you are half a fairy. You can defy him, down to the waist.
Yes, but he could commit my legs to prison for years. What's the use of my body being free if my legs are serving out 7 years penal servitude?
True, but take heart. Our Queen has given you her special protection. Let me go to her and lay your peculiar cause before her.
My beloved mother, how could I ever repay the debt I owe to you? When darkly looms the day, and all is dull and grey, to chase the gloom away on thee I'll call.
What was that?
I think I heard him say that on a rainy day, to while the time away on her he'd call.
We think we heard him say that on a rainy day, to while the time away on her he'd call.
When tempests wreck thy bark, and all is drear and dark, if thou shouldst need an ark, I'll give thee one.
What was that?
I heard the minx remark she'd meet him after dark inside St. James's Park and give him one. Oh! We heard the minx remark she'd meet him after dark inside St. James's Park and give him one. The prospect's not so bad, my heart's so sore and sad, may very soon be glad in summer sun. For when the sky is dark and tempests wreck my bark, if he should need an ark, she'll give him one. I'll give him one. I'll give him one.
this lady's my mother.
This lady's is what?
This lady's my mother.
This lady's is what?
He says she's his mother.
What means this birth unseemly that shakes the listening earth?
The joke is good extremely and justifies our mirth.
This gentleman is seen with a maid of 17, taking of his dolce Iolianthe, and wonders he'd achieve, for he asks us to believe she's his mother, and he's nearly 25.
Recollect yourself, I pray, and be careful what you say, as the ancient Romans said, best Iolanthe. For I really do not see how so young a girl can be the mother of a man of 25.
My Lord of evidence, I have no doubt she has been my mother from my birth. In babyhood upon her lap I lay, with infant food she moistened my clay. Had she withheld the succor she supplied, by hunger quite the stricken might have died.
Had that refreshment been denied, indeed our Strephon might have died.
Had that refreshment been denied, indeed our Strephon might have died.
But as she's not his mother, it appears, why weep his heart unnecessary tears? And by what law should we so joyously rejoice because our Strephon did not die? Or rather let us pipe our eye, because our Strephon did not die.
That's very true, let's pipe our eye, because our Strephon did not die.
Come, traitors one, forever we must part. Till one of reverence I give my heart.
Oh, rapture!
Phyllis,
Oh, rapture!
where you leave me,
lucky little lady. Strephon's not a shady. Reckons it is vital. Countess is the title. Yes, Countess, Countess, the title, the title. But of what I'm not aware. But of what I'm not aware.
Can I inactive see my fortunes fade? No, no.
Ho, ho!
No, no.
Ho, ho!
Mighty protectress, hasten to my aid.
Twinkling river, nobody knows why or whither. Why you want us, we don't know, but you summoned us, and so enter all the little fairies to their usual tripping measure. To oblige you all our cares, tell us, pray, what is your pleasure?
The lady of my lovers caught me talking to another.
Oh, fine, young Strephon is a rogue.
Tell her very plainly that the lady is my mother.
Taradiddle, taradiddle, tollolay.
She won't believe my statement and declares it must be parted, because in a career of double dealing I have started that gives a hand to one of these and leaves me broken-hearted.
Taradiddle, taradiddle, tollolay.
You cruel monster, separate two lovers from each other.
Oh, fine, our Strephon's not a rogue.
You've done him an injustice, for the lady is his mother.
Taradiddle, taradiddle, tollolay.
That Mabel Pratt may serve his turn as well as any other. I didn't see her face, but if they fondled one another, and she's but 17, I don't believe it was his mother. Taradiddle, taradiddle,
Tollolay.
I have often had a use for a thoroughbred excuse of a sudden which is English for nepente. But of all I've ever heard, this is much the most absurd, for she's 17 and he is 5 and 20.
For she is 17 and he is only 5 and 20.
Oh, fine, young Strephon is a rogue.
Now listen, pray to me, for this paradox will be carried nobody at all contradicente. Her age upon the date of his birth was -8, if she's 17 and he is 5 and 20.
She is 17 and he is only 5 and 20.
To say she is his mother is an utter bit of folly. Oh, fine, our Strephon is a rogue. Perhaps his brain is addled and he's very melancholy. Taradiddle, taradiddle, tollolay. I wouldn't say a word that could be reckoned as injurious, but to find a mother younger than her son is very curious, and that's the kind of mother that is usually spurious. Taradiddle, taradiddle, tollolay.
Go away, madam, I should say, madam, you display, madam, shocking taste. It is rude, madam, to intrude, madam, with your brood, madam, brazen-faced. You come here, madam, interfere, madam, with a peer, madam, I am one. You're aware, madam, what you dare, madam, so take care, madam, and be gone.
Let us stay, madam, I should say, madam, you display, madam, shocking taste. It is rude, madam, to allude, madam, to your brood, madam, brazen-faced. We don't fear, madam, any peer, madam, but my dear, madam, this is one. They will stare, madam, unaware, madam, what they dare, madam, what they've done.
Hear and by these puny mortals, I will launch from fairy portals all the most terrific thunders in my armory of wonders.
Surely launch terrific wonders, let us stay, madam, let us stay, madam, let us stay, madam, shocking taste. It is rude, madam, to allude, madam, to your brood, madam, brazen-faced. We don't fear, madam, Nigel fair.
A plague on this vagary, I'm in a nice quandary of hasty tone with dames unknown. I ought to be more chary. It seems that she's a fairy from Anderson's library, and I took her for the proprietor of a ladies' seminary.
We took her for the proprietor of a ladies' seminary.
When next your houses do assemble, you may tremble. Our wrath when gentlemen offend us is tremendous.
They meet who underrate our calling, doom appalling.
Take down our sentence as we speak it, and we shall wreak it.
Oh, spare us!
Henceforth strife and cast away, crooks and pipes and ribbons so gay, flocks and herds that bleat and flow, into Parliament you shall go.
Into Parliament he shall go, backed by their supreme authority. He'll command a large majority. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go.
In the parliamentary hive, a liberal or conservative, left wing, right wing, I don't know, but into Parliament you shall go.
Into Parliament he shall go, backed by their supreme authority. He'll command a large majority. Into Parliament, Parliament, he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go. Into Parliament, 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 he shall go. Into Parliament he shall go.
Every bill and every measure that may gratify his pleasure, though your fury it arouses, shall be passed by both your houses.
No!
You shall sit, if he sees reason, through the grouse and salmon season.
No!
He shall end the cherished rights you enjoy on Friday nights.
No!
He shall break that annual blister, married with deceased wife's sister.
Mercy!
Titles shall ennoble, then all the common councilmen.
Spare us!
Peers shall teem in Christendom, and a duke's exalted station be attainable by competitive examination.
One Greek remark, one Latin word, one Greek remark, and one last French.
Your Lord is our prickly measured basin.
That word is
French distinction as before a herd of golden cats.
a Latin word,
Fill with joy and gladness like a hyperload.
a Greek remark.
That's a word, one Greek remark, and one that's French.
The scepter is the kind of that we do the best. Take us out, we cannot say what evil's made is up, not impressed. Our hope is vengeance will pursue our lives. All the angels who oppose us, there's no hope, we just go off. Cause of them we will not
When all night long a chap remains on sentry go to chase monotony, he exercises of his brains, that is, assuming that he's got any. Though never nurtured in the lap of luxury, yet I admonish you, I am an intellectual chap, and think of things that would astonish you. I often think it's comical, fa-la-la, fa-la-la, how nature always does contrive, fa-la-la-la, that every boy and every gal that's born into this world alive is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la, fa-la-la is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la. When in the House MPs divide if they've a brain and cerebellum too, they've got to leave that brain outside and vote just as their leaders tell them to. But then the prospect of a lot of dull MPs in close proximity, all thinking for themselves, is what no man can face with equanimity. Then let's rejoice with loud fa-la, fa-la-la, fa-la-la, that nature always does contrive. La la la, that every boy and every girl who's born into this world alive is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la, is either a little liberal or else a little conservative. Fa-la-la. Annoyed? I should think so. This ridiculous protégé of yours is playing the deuce with everything. Tonight is the second reading of his bill to throw the peerage open to competitive examination.
And he'll carry it, too.
Carry it, of course he will. He's a parliamentary Pickford. Carries everything.
Well, yes, if you please. That's our fault.
Oh, the deuce it is.
Yes, we induce the members and compel them to vote just as he wishes them to.
It's our system. It shortens the debates.
Well, think what it all means. I don't so much mind for myself. But with a House of Peers with no Conservatives worth mentioning, the country must go to the dogs.
I don't mean to say a word against brains. I have a great respect for brains. I often wish I had some myself. But with a House of Peers composed entirely of persons of intelligence, what's to become of the House of Commons?
Well, I hadn't thought of that.
This comes of women interfering in politics. It so happens that if there is an institution in Great Britain which is not susceptible of any improvement whatsoever, it is the House of Peers. When Britain really ruled the waves in good Queen Bess's time, the House of Peers made no pretence to intellectual eminence or scholarship sublime. Yet Britain won her proudest bays in good Queen Bess's glorious days. Yet Britain won her proudest days in good Queen Bess's glorious days. Yes, Britain won her proudest days in good Queen Bess's glorious days. When Wellington thrashed Bonaparte, as every child can tell, the House of Peers throughout the war did nothing in particular, and did it very well. Yet Britain set the world ablaze in good King George's glorious days. Yet Britain set the world ablaze in good King George's glorious days. Yes, Britain set the world ablaze in good King George's glorious days. And while the House of Peers withholds its legislative hand, and noble statesmen do not itch to interfere with matters which they do not understand. As bright will shine Great Britain's rays as in King George's glorious days. As bright will shine Great Britain's rays as in King George's glorious days. As bright will shine Great Britain's rays as in King George's glorious days.
Charming persons, are they not?
Distinctly, for self-contained dignity combined with an airy condescension, give me a British representative fear.
Then pray stop this protégé of yours before it's too late. Think of the mischief you're doing.
But we can't stop him now. Oh, lovely persons, are they not? Why did you have to go and defy us, you great geese? In vain to us you plead, don't go. Your prayers we do not heed, don't go. It's true we sigh, but don't suppose a tearful eye forgiveness shows. Oh no, we're very cross indeed, yes, very cross. Don't go. It's true we sigh, but don't suppose a tearful eye forgiveness shows. Oh no, we're very cross indeed, yes, very cross. Don't go.
Your disrespectful sneers, don't go. Call forth indignant tears, don't go. You break our laws, you are our foe. We cry because we hate you so. You know, you very wicked peers, you wicked peers, don't go. You break our laws, you are our foes. We cry because we hate you so. You know. Very wicked peers, you wicked peers, don't go.
The disrespectful sneers, ha ha, bring forth indignant tears, ha ha, if that's the case, my dears.
Don't go.
We'll go.
Oh, shame! Shame upon you! Is this your fidelity to the laws you are bound to obey? Know ye not that it is death to marry a mortal?
Yes, but it is not death to wish to marry a mortal.
If it were, you'd have to execute us all.
Oh, this is weakness. Subdue it.
We know it's weakness, but the weakness is so strong.
We are not all as tough as you are.
Tough? Do you suppose that I am insensible to the effects of manly beauty? Look at that man. A perfect picture. Who are you, sir?
Private Willis, Kendall Barracks, 1st Grenadier Guards, ma'am.
You're a very fine fellow, sir.
I am generally admired.
I can quite understand it. And now here is a man whose physical attributes are simply godlike. That man has a most extraordinary effect on me. If I yielded to a natural impulse, I should fall down and worship that man. But I mortify this inclination. I wrestle with it, and it lies beneath my feet. That is how I treat my regard for that man. Oh, foolish faith, think you because his bravery my bosom thaws, I disobey the fairy laws, because I fly
why I'm not in better spirits. I am engaged to 2 noblemen at once. It's enough to make any girl happy. Oh, but I'm miserable. Don't think it's because I care for Strephon, because I don't. I hate him. No girl could care for a man with a mother considerably younger than himself.
Phyllis, my darling.
Phyllis, my own.
Don't! How dare you? Oh, unless you're the 2 gentlemen I'm engaged to?
I am one of them.
I am the other.
Oh. Well then, my darling. My own? Well, have you decided which it's to be?
Not altogether. It's a difficult position. It would be hardly delicate to toss up. On the whole, we would rather leave it to you.
How on earth would it concern me? You are both earls, you are both rich, and you are both plain.
So we are. At least I am.
So am I.
No.
I am indeed very plain.
Well, perhaps you are.
There's nothing to choose between you. If one of you were to forgo his title and distribute his estates among the young farmers, why then I should see reason for choosing the other.
Talola, are you prepared to make this sacrifice?
No.
Not even to oblige a lady?
No, not even to oblige a lady.
And the only question is, which of us should give way to the other? Perhaps, on the whole, she would be happier with me?
Oh, I don't know. I really believe she would. But the awkward part of the thing is that if you rob me of the girl of my heart, we must fight, and one of us must die. It's a family tradition that I have sworn to respect. It's a painful position, for I have a very strong regard for you, George.
My dear Thomas.
You are very dear to me, George. We were boys together. At least I was. If I were to survive you, my existence would be hopelessly embittered.
Then, my dear Thomas, you must not do it. I say it again and again. If it will have this effect upon you, you must not do it. No. If one of us is to destroy the other, let it be me.
No.
Oh, yes, please. By a boy's friendship, I implore you.
Well, be it so. But no. I cannot consent to an act which would crush you with unavailing remorse.
But it would not do so. I should be very sad at first, or who would not be? But it would wear off. I like you very much, but not perhaps as much as you like me.
George, you're a noble fellow, but that telltale tear betrays you. No, George, you are very fond of me, and I cannot consent to give you a week's uneasiness on my account.
But dear Thomas, it would not last a week. Remember, you lead the House of Lords. On your demise, I shall take your place. Oh, Thomas, it would not last a day.
Now then, I do hope you're not fighting over me, because it's really not worth your while.
Well, I don't believe it is.
Nor I. The sacred ties of friendship are paramount.
Though perhaps I may incur your blame, the things of you I would not do in friendship's name.
And I may say I think the same, not even love should rank above true friendship's name.
Then free me, pray be mine the blame. Forget your craze and go
name, but none yet in the world so wide has yielded up a promised bride. Accept, O friendship, all the same.
This sacrifice to thy dear name. Accept this sacrifice to thy dear
Love unrequited robs me of my rest. Love, hopeless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on me chest, and weaves itself into my midnight slumbers. When you're lying awake with a dismal headache and repose is tabooed by anxiety, I conceive you may use any language you choose to indulge in without impropriety. For your brain is on fire, the bedclothes conspire of usual slumber to plunder you. First your counterpane goes and uncovers your toes, and your sheet slips demurely from under you. Then the blanketing tickles, you feel like mixed pickles, so terribly sharp is the pricking. And you're hot and you're cross and you tumble and toss till there's nothing twixt to and the ticking. Then the bedclothes all creep to the ground in a heap, and you pick 'em all up in a tangle. Next your pillow resigns and politely declines to remain at its usual angle. Well, you get some repose in the form of a doze without eyeballs and head ever aching, but your slumbering teems with such horrible dreams that you very much better be waking. For you dream you are crossing the channel and tossing about in a steamer from Harwich, which is somewhere between a large bathing machine and a very small second-class carriage, and you're giving a treat, penny ice and cold meat to a party of friends and relations. They're ravenous horde, and they all came aboard at Sloane Square and South Kensington stations. Bound on that journey you find your attorney who started that morning from Devon. He's a bit undersized and you don't feel surprised when he tells you it's only 11. Well, you're driving like mad with this singular lad, by the ship's now a four-wheeler, and you're playing round games and he calls you bad names when you tell him that ties pay the dealer. Well, this you can't stand, so you throw up your hands and you find you're as cold as an icicle. In your shirt and your socks, the black silk with gold clocks, crossing Salisbury Plain on a bicycle. And he and the crew were on bicycles too, which they somehow or other invested in. And he's telling the tars all the particulars of a company he's interested in. It's a scheme of devices to get at low prices all goods from cough mixture to cables, which tickle the sailors by treating retailers as though they were all vegetables. You get a good spadesman to plant a small tradesman, first take up his boots with a boot tree, and his legs will take root and his fingers will shoot, and they'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the greengrocer tree you get grapes and green pea, cauliflower, pineapple and cranberries, while the pastry cook plant cherry brandy will grant apple puffs and three-corners and Banburys. The shares are a penny and ever so many are taken by Rothschild and Baring, and just as a few are allotted to you, you awake with a shudder despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck and a wondrous snow over your heads on the floor, and you've needles and pins from your soles to your shins, and your flesh is creeping, you're left to sleep, cramping your toes, the fly in your nose and the flop in your lung, and a feverish tongue and a thirst intense and a general scent. Haven't been sleeping in clover. years have passed, and it's daylight at last, and the night has been long. Ditto, ditto, my song. And thank goodness they're both of them over.
We are much distressed to see your lordship in this condition.
Ah, my lords, it is seldom that a Lord Chancellor has reason to envy the position of another, but I am free to confess that I would rather be 2 earls engaged to Phyllis than any other half-dozen noblemen on the face of the globe.
Yes, it's an enviable position when you're the only one.
No doubt most enviable, but seeing you thus, we naturally say to ourselves, this is very sad. His lordship is constitutionally as blithe as a bird. He trills upon the bench like a thing of song and gladness. His series of judgments in F-sharp minor, given andante in 6/8 time, are among the most remarkable effects ever produced in a court of chancery. He is perhaps the only living instance whose decrees have received the honour of a double encore. How can we bring ourselves to do that which will deprive the Court of Chancery of one of its most attractive features?
I feel the force of your remarks.
But I am here in 2 capacities, and they clash, my lords, they clash. I deeply grieve to say that in declining to entertain my last application to myself, I presume to address myself in terms which render it impossible for me ever to apply to myself again. It was a most painful scene, my lords, most painful.
This is what it is to have 2 capacities. Let us be thankful that we are persons of no capacity whatever.
Come, you are a very just and kindly old gentleman, and have no hesitation in approaching yourself so that you do so respectfully and with a proper show of deference.
Do you really think so?
I do.
Well, I'll nerve myself for another effort, and if that fails, I resign myself to my fate.
If you go in, you're sure to win. Yours will be the charming maid. Be your lord, the ancient saw. Faint heart never won, fair lady. Never, never, never. Faint heart never won, fair lady. Every journey has an end. When at the worst affairs were meant. Out the door when day is nigh, hustle your horse and don't stay die.
He who shies at such a prize is not worth a maravedi. Be so kind as to bear in mind, faint hearts never won, fair lady. Never, 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 faint heart never won, fair lady. When the sun shines make your hay, where's a wind is there's a way. The lion in his land, but the brave deserve the fair.
I'll take heart and make a start, though I fear the prospect shady. Much I'd spend to gain my end. Faint heart never won, fair lady. Never, 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 faint heart never won, fair lady.
Nothing ventured, nothing win. Love is sick water's thin. In throughout, it's love that makes the world go round. Nothing ventured, nothing win. Love is thick, but water's thin. In throughout, it's love that makes the world go round.
I suppose one ought to be happy in Parliament when one leads both parties as I do. But I'm miserable. Poor, broken-hearted fool that I am. Phyllis. Oh, Phyllis.
Yes?
Phyllis? But I suppose I should say, my lady. I have not yet been informed of which title your ladyship was pleased to select.
I haven't decided yet. Besides, I have no mother to advise me.
No, I do.
Yes, a very young mother.
Oh, not very. A couple of centuries or so.
She wears it well.
Well, she does. She's a fairy.
I beg your pardon. A what?
Oh, I've no longer any reason to conceal the fact. She is a fairy.
A fairy? Well, that does explain a good number of things. Then I suppose you're a fairy.
Oh, no, I'm half a fairy.
Which half?
The top half, down to the waistcoat.
Dear me. There's nothing to show it.
Don't do that.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
I thought you'd take a dislike to me. But as it's all off, you might as well know the truth. I'm only half mortal.
I'd rather have half a mortal I do love than half a dozen I don't.
I don't think so. Go to your half dozen.
It's only 2 of them, and I hate them. Please forgive me.
I don't think I ought. Besides, all kinds of difficulties may arise. You see, my grandmother looks just as young as my mother, as do all my aunts.
No, I quite understand. Whenever I see you kissing a very young lady, I shall know it's just an elderly relative.
You will? Then, Phyllis, I think we should be very happy.
We won't wait.
No, we might change our minds. We'll marry first.
And change our minds afterwards.
Well, it's the usual course.
If we're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I, of the feeling I inspire, you may tire by and by. All the peers of flowing coffers make their offers, that is why I am sure we should not tarry ere we marry, you and I.
If we're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I, with the heart trick to meet and jewelry to woo we find. If by chance we should be parted, broken-hearted I should die. So I think we will not tarry ere we marry, you and I.
If we're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I, of the feeling I inspire, you may tire by and by. Of the feeling I inspire, you may tire by and by. If we're weak enough to tarry ere we marry, you and I, of the feeling I inspire, you may tire by and by. So I think we will not tarry ere we marry, ere we marry, you and I.
Does she know of our engagement?
Yes, she does. And she is delighted to welcome her daughter-in-law.
She curses just like other people. But the Lord Chancellor...
Oh, I forgot him. Mother, no one can resist your fairy eloquence. You'll go to him and speak for us.
No, impossible.
But our happiness, our very lives depending on obtaining his consent.
Oh, madam, you cannot refuse to do this.
You know not what you ask. The Lord Chancellor is my husband.
Your husband?
My husband and your father.
Well then, our course is plain. On his learning that Strephon is his son, all objection to our marriage will be at once removed.
No, he can never know. He believes me to have died childless, and dearly as I love him, I am bound under penalty of death to never undeceive him. But see, quick, he comes. I failed.
Victory! Victory! Success has crowned my efforts, and I may consider myself engaged to Phyllis. At first, I wouldn't hear of it. It was out of the question. But I took heart. I pointed out to myself that I was no stranger to myself. That in point of fact, I had been personally acquainted with myself for some years. This had its effect. I admitted that I had watched my professional advancement with considerable interest, and I handsomely added that I yielded to no one in admiration for my private and professional virtues. This was a great point gained. I then endeavoured to work upon my emotions. Conceive my joy when I distinctly perceived a tear glistening in my own eye. Eventually, after a severe struggle, I reluctantly, most reluctantly, consented.
My lord, a suppliant at your feet I kneel. Oh, listen to a mother's fond appeal. Hear me tonight, I come in urgent need. 'Tis for my son, young Strephon, that I plead. He loves, if in thy bygone days thine eyes have never shed tears, bitter unavailing 'tis of one untimely dead. If
It may not be, for so the fates decide. Learn thou that Phyllis is my promised bride.
Thy pride.
It shall be so. Those who would separate us, woe betide.
My lips that thou hast spoken, I plead in vain. A vow already broken, I break again. For him, for her, for thee, I plead in vain. Behold, it may not be. I am thy wife.
Iolanthe, thou livest?
I live. Now let me die. Once again thy vows are broken. Thou thyself thy doom hast spoken. Bow thyself to destiny. Death thy doom, and thou shalt
Hold! If Iolanthe should die, then so must we all. For as she has sinned, so have we.
What? We are all fairy duchesses, countesses, viscountesses, marchionesses, and baronesses.
It's our fault, I'm afraid. They couldn't help themselves.
It seems they have helped themselves, and pretty freely too. You have all incurred death. But I can't slaughter the whole company. And yet the law is very clear. Every fairy must die who marries a mortal.
Allow me, as an old equity draftsman, to make a suggestion. The subtleties of the legal mind are equal to the emergency. Now, let us see. Rwanda? Where's Rwanda? Scottish independence. That's a dead duck for a while. A double loop on the Lakes Railway line. Oh, what a good idea. Here it is. Marrying a mortal. The thing is quite simple. The insertion of a single word will do it. Let it stand that every mortal, every fairy shall die who don't marry a mortal. And there we have it. Out of your difficulty at once.
We like your humour. Very well. Private Willis.
Mom?
To save my life, it is necessary that I marry at once. Oh, would you like to be a fairy godson?
Well, ma'am, I don't think much of the British soldier who wouldn't ill-convenience himself to save out fair in distress.
Bravely spoken. You're a fairy from this moment.
Oh, lovely.
And you, my lords, how say you? Will you join our ranks?
Well, now that the peers are to be composed entirely of persons of intelligence, I don't see what use we are down here. Do you, Tallulah?
None whatever.
Good. Then away we go to fairyland.
Soon as we may, off and away, we are romance our journey, airy, happy are we. As you can see, everyone is now a fairy. Everyone is now a fairy. As a general rule we know, 2 strings go to every bow. Make up your mind that we've to bring, if you've to bow to every string.
As a general rule we know, 2 strings go to every bow. Make up your mind that we've to bring, if you've to bow to every string.
Up in the sky, ever so high, pleasures come in endless series. We will arrange happy exchange, house of peers for house of peers. Peers, 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 house of peers for house of peers.
Up in the air, sky high, free from what's in Chancery. You'll be sure you'll have your war with such a susceptible Chancellor. Up in the air, sky high, free from what's in Chancery. You'll be sure you'll have your war with such a susceptible Chancellor.
Bye.